Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a wonderful week. This week is two special events of the Parsha, the Torah reading. One is we start the new chapter, the new book, the book of Leviticus, known as Sefer Vayikra, which is a lot of details about all the services and the sacrifices served in the temple. And the other one is that it's Shabbat HaGadol, the great Shabbos, the great Saturday weekend, the week before the holiday of Passover. So we'll spend a little time talking about each. First, the book of Leviticus, if you look at it from the outside, it seems a lot of details. What type of animals they use for sacrifices, how they do the sacrifices, what they do with the sacrifices, and certainly could be a little bit boring if I would say so myself. But the truth is, the Hebrew word for sacrifice is karbon. Karbon comes from the Hebrew word of closeness, to make someone close. When we go ahead and we offer sacrifices, or in the times of the temple, we're getting close to God. How do you get close to God? And the answer is that we're taking something of our own. Back then, thousands of years ago, they didn't have cars. They didn't have type of houses we have, the type of material things we had. They had animals and farms. And when they take one of their animals and they give it to God, that's a sacrifice. The word sacrifice means you're giving up of your own. And the lesson we learn is that in our own lives, even today, when we give up something of our own, that makes us close. How do you get close to God? You give something, not just something which is meaningless, but something that is meaningful to you. And when you give it to God, even though God doesn't really need to collect whatever it is that you're giving him, but it shows God that you want to make that connection. You're willing to give something up for him. And that's how a person gets closeness to his connection to God. We'll now continue with the singing of Lechadodi, the song we sing Friday night, written by the great Rabbi of Shlomo Alkabitz in the late 1400s. Lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Ishmiyanu kel hamyuchad Hashem echad Ushma hoyachad L'shem ol sefer Ez v'lisila Chad odi likras kala Nehi Shabbos nekavela Likras Shabbos l'chuvin elcha Ki mekor haberacha meirosh mikedem nesucha Sov maaseh b'machshavot chila lecha dodi likras kala Pnei Shabbos nekavela mikdash melech Ir melucha kumitzi mitoch ha'afecha Rav lach shevet b'yimekabacha V'hu yachamol alayichem lalecha Dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekavela Hisnari me'afar kumi Livshi big day sefarte chalmi al yad ben yishai beis alachmi Karva el nafshi gi yahala lecha dodi lekras kala Nehi Shabbos nekabela Hisahoreri Kiva horechu miyori Ori, shir daberi, Gevod Hashem, alayich nigla. Lecha dodi lekras kala, Pnei Shabbos nekabela, V'hayulim shisa, shahosayich, V'rachaku kameh v'halayich, Yosis alayich elokayich, Kim sozcha sana kala lecha dodi lekras kala. Pnei Shabbos nekabela yamin usmal tehefrotzi v'yes Hashem daritzi
Al Yad Ben Yishai Beit Oloch Mikarva El Nafshi Ala Lecha Dodi Likras Kala Pnei Shabbos Nekavila Bawi B'Shalom Atares Ba'ala Gamberino V'Tzahala Tochem Uneyam Segula Ba'wikala Lecha Dodi Likras Kala Pnei Shabbos Nekavila.
Next, I want to speak about Shabbat Hagadol, it's called the Great Shabbos before the holiday of Passover. What happened on this great Shabbos, this great weekend, thousands of years ago? So the Jewish people were in the land of Egypt, and they're only a few days away of redemption. And God told them to do something. God said, I want you to give a sacrifice to me, as you mentioned a few minutes ago. But I want you to sacrifice the sheep that are in Egypt. But the problem is that the Egyptians worship the sheep. So the Jewish people asked God, how are we supposed to get them? We're going to parade around the streets holding these sheep and take them for our own? And God said, yes, exactly. He needs a lot of courage. And if you do this, then you'll be able to be redeemed. And that's what they did. They mustered up the courage and they did what they did. And they took the animals around the sheep. And the Egyptians would say to them, hey, what are you doing with our animal, with our God? And they'd say, well, we're going to slaughter it and we're going to sacrifice it. We're going to eat it for dinner. And it was a very courageous thing to do. And the Egyptians, although inside burned with anger, they did not want to start up with the Jewish people at this point in time. So this Shabbos, this weekend, is about courage. And I hope everybody next week also as well joins us for our Passover Seder Friday afternoon, 2:30 in the Rainbow Room. Wishing everyone a wonderful Shabbat.
We're now finished with the singing of Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'es Nasa B'Chefso Kol Azai Mehelech Shemo Nikra V'Yacharei Kechlos HaKol Levahado Yimloch Nora V'Haya V'Hu Hoveh V'Hu Yiyeh B'Sifara V'Hu Echad V'Yein Sheni Hamshilo Lehachvira V'Li Reishis V'Li Sachlis V'Lo Ha'od V'Hamizra V'Hu Keli V'Chai Goali V'Tur Chevli V'Yes Nasa V'Hu Nisi Umanosli Minas Kosi B'Yom Ekra B'Yahado Avkid Ruchi V'Yes Ishan V'Yahira V'Yem Ruchi Gev'Yasi Ado Shemli V'Lo V'Ira. And have a happy and healthy week, a great weekend, a great Shabbat. We'll see everybody next week.